It was just 4 years ago that we won our independence. It was a glorious time. Often it feels like it was just yesterday. Other times, it seems more like ancient history. Our unity and our optimism have disappeared. Our new Confederacy is unstable, and the liberty for which we fought so hard is threatened. Trade is difficult. There are conflicts among our own people. Our states are divided on the issue of slavery. England and other nations are creating serious distrust among the states, and there are dangers on our frontiers. The Confederation Congress has many problems. It cannot impose taxes or tariffs. It can request money from the states, but has no way to make them pay. This Confederation is simply not working. Something must be done, or we cannot maintain our liberty and prosper. That is why I am printing this special edition. With all of our other problems, we are in some very hard economic times right now. Both the national government and the states have issued paper money. Their different values makes it difficult to do business between the states. And we also owe huge war debts to other countries. The Confederation Congress is planning to hold a convention in Philadelphia later this spring to discuss the problem. So now is the time for us to share our ideas with the convention delegates. I already have the headline. That was pretty easy. It is the answers that are difficult. There are as many answers as there are citizens. So what I'm going to do is to talk to some local people to see what their views are of what should happen. To give readers a more balanced view, I will not just listen. I will try to identify some possible drawbacks to their suggestions. My hope is that when I print these stories, it will spark thoughtful conversations and deliberations among our citizens, which will help the convention delegates make wise decisions.
Welcome, Mr. Edwards.
Thank you, Mr. Richardson.
Please, have a seat.
Thank you. As you know, I'm here to ask what you think should happen at the Philadelphia Convention.
Well, sir, of course I want what is best for my country, so my first response is perhaps too personal. Even though I am a small businessman, I do that business in several states, sometimes with great difficulty. Mainly this occurs because there is competition rather than cooperation among the states. The common good stops at state borders. So I think we need to find a way to recognize the importance and equal power of each state, but still encourage cooperation where needed. So I'm thinking that the Articles of Confederation should be amended to strengthen the partnership among the states, but certainly not totally throw it out.
What changes do you think are needed to accomplish that?
Well, first of all, to do anything, Congress gotta have money. So they should have a right, a limited one, mind you, to impose and collect national taxes or tariffs. We have national war debts, national responsibilities, not state, but national.
Good points. But taxing citizens directly ignores state legislatures and competes with them for tax dollars.
Now, that's true. I also believe that Congress should establish common exchange rates and a standard system of weights and measures. This would make trade easier, and the value of state currencies could be better understood. When I am paid for my goods and currencies from other states, I often have no idea of its value.
But such a central system will undermine the barter system that many people use instead of money, especially our farmers. And it's impossible to enforce such systems. People may manipulate or just ignore them.
That's possible. But to do any of this, the articles must be amended. Right now, amendments require a unanimous vote of the states. This is nearly impossible. So I think a 2/3 majority vote of the states attending a session should be able to pass amendments. I still believe that each state, large or small, should get one vote in Congress, But one state should not be able to block any actions or decisions that the majority favors.
You are right. This would keep a single state from preventing Congress from passing legislation. But it also means that dissenting states in the minority would be forced to go along with the decisions that they do not support.
Well, that's true. It's a difficult task. But I believe that if our nation is to move forward, we must figure out a way to give the central government more power, but still respect the independence of each state.
Well, I thank you for your time, Mr. Richardson.
You're very welcome, Mr. Edwards.
Please come in, Mr. Edwards.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, Mrs. Nichols.
You are welcome.
So, what is your advice for the members of the convention?
I think we should create a strong central government to protect our liberty. I do know that many citizens fear this option. After all, we just rid ourselves of King George. We know that if governments are too powerful, they can be dangerous. But I do not see how we can be economically stable and physically secure without a very strong central government.
Well, what do you think needs to be done?
It seems to me that we should replace the Articles of Confederation with a new constitution. Congress should reflect the population of each state. States with more people would get more representatives. I reckon we would have to find out how many people live in each state, and we would need to find out who could vote.
But under this plan, smaller states would lose influence and power. And as for a common standard for citizenship, this overrides state decisions.
Yes, the standard for citizenship will no doubt be a sticking point.
What are some of your other ideas?
I would urge the convention to create a standing army and navy to protect our borders and merchant fleet. I do not believe that state militias and volunteers, even those as brave as my late husband Robert, can protect us from an invasion of professional armies. Those threats are real. Our recent losses cannot have been in vain.
But with a standing army and navy, the military would have a stronger allegiance to the central government than to the states, and soldiers could be stationed anywhere.
Yes, and another threat that is too big for our states is the war debt. I would have the central government assume all war debt and give Congress the right to raise money to do it. I believe this should include the money owed to our war veterans. As a war widow, I have not yet been paid my widow's pension. This money would be so helpful in keeping this little farm going for me and my children.
Your point is strong, but that may require more taxes, and some states have already paid their war debt. If Congress assumes the war debt of states that have not paid, it would be unfair to the states that have.
I understand. That problem would have to be worked out when a new constitution and strong central government are created. I do not wish to be rude, but I must go milk our cow. She does not like to be kept waiting.
I understand. I thank you for your thoughts and this wonderful tea.
You are certainly welcome.
Hello. Mr. Patterson, good to see you again.
As it is you, Mr. Edwards.
Yes. I understand your gristmill's been very busy this season.
Yes, it is doing very well. The result of hard work, local people, and local money. Why don't we go outside where it's quieter?
All right. As you know, I'm interested in your views on the Philadelphia meeting. What do you want the convention to do?
Yes, yes. Well, now that we've achieved our liberty, I believe the Confederation should be dissolved. Each state should govern itself as it sees fit. After all, they have their own traditions and laws, economies, even money. We will all be better off if each state can control its own destiny. A one-size government cannot possibly please everyone. I mean, what does someone in Pennsylvania know about what I do here? What I need here? Or the other way around? Local governance works best for everybody. So, I'm saying dissolve the present Confederation and let the states govern themselves.
That's very interesting, but how do you see this should happen?
Well, we have to increase local control. Each state should be free to determine which individuals have the rights of citizenship. Property rights, voting rights, freedom of speech, freedom of religion.
But that would mean that someone could lose their citizenship rights when they travel from state to state. And individuals with less money and power could lose their natural rights as well. It could result in tyranny at the local level.
No, not tyranny. I'm speaking about local control. And another thing, each state legislature, not a national Congress, should be able to determine what to do about the war debt. You know, veterans, widows, creditors, whether or not they're being paid. A state would work out its own plan for paying back what it believes is its fair share of any debt.
But if some states decide not to repay, that would be unfair to the states that have already repaid. Bad debt by some states will affect the credit of all Americans. And there's the very real matter of veterans and widows who need the money they so richly deserve.
That is a legitimate issue they will have to work out. May I suggest one other action?
Absolutely.
I believe that all trade disputes should be resolved in the local marketplace. That would keep the central government from interfering in the economic affairs of individuals and businesses.
It would seem that would foster a bad business practice. I mean, people who want to take advantage of other people. And the lack of interstate commerce could hurt the local farmer, who would have difficulty selling his surplus.
Well, I'm not having any trouble. And there is an old saying, let the buyer beware. Well, it seems there are at least two sides to every action. It is not an easy task we face in Philadelphia, is it, Mr. Edwards?
No. No, indeed it is not. But then, few things have been easy in the birthing of our new nation. And that is why we need everyone's ideas at this critical time. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Patterson.
You are more than welcome, sir.
Well, I have some answers to the question. From citizens proposing different options with different actions to accomplish them. All valuable, all worth deliberating. We may not agree on how to proceed, but we can work together to resolve the problems of our young nation. Now is the time to decide what kind of government should we have. The Philadelphia meeting takes place in just a few weeks.